Hi, my name is Cole McCormick, and I run a production company based out of Wisconsin called Firewood Media. Over the years, we have accumulated tons of new viewers and subscribers from our wide variety of content. Whether it's our original movies, our podcasts, my band The Ideal, the Godzilla retrospectives, or my commentary on the fandom surrounding filmmaker Zack Snyder, there is hours and hours of content for new and old viewers to consume. As a result, it can be a little overwhelming. So I wanted to make this video as a way of introducing Firewood Media to newcomers, while also using it as a way to give a brief history of the channel and how we got to where we are today. I have been obsessed with filmmaking and videography for as long as I can remember. I made countless home movies and amateur short films, starting all the way back in elementary school, but it wasn't until high school where I really started to take things seriously. During my junior year of high school in 2019, I made a 2-minute short film called Firewood. It follows a woodcutter hearing voices in a nearby forest, and he decides to investigate. After some encouragement from my parents, I submitted it to multiple film festivals, both locally and internationally, and it was the first time I had ever won an award for any of my movies. This only motivated me further, so in 2020, I spent an entire year crafting my debut feature film, Another Day Closer to the Sun, which was this sci-fi drama about the sun gradually hurtling towards the Earth. The plan was to release the movie on YouTube for free, but I didn't want to post it under my full name, since that seemed kind of boring and pretentious. I knew I wanted to give other people the chance to post on the channel too. So I created a channel with the name Firewood Media as a way to pay tribute to the short film that reinvigorated and legitimized my love of filmmaking. Another Day Closer to the Sun was the first film of mine to feature Joe Leffler Bell, a very close friend of mine who would actually be in a ton of my movies, and he's appeared in a fair chunk of videos on the channel as part of the Firewood Media family. While I served as the writer, director, and editor, I was also the lead actor for Another Day Closer to the Sun. I was so used to doing everything myself, but I realized I needed to cast people other than myself and my friend Joe. Throughout high school, I was in the drama club and made a ton of friendships with people who had a decent amount of acting experience. After word got around the school's drama club that I was making another movie, a ton of people were interested in being involved. The culmination of this was my second feature film, Pesticide, which was this insane movie centering around an ensemble cast that blended Western movies with crime movies with 1960s psychedelia. Released in May of 2021, we actually had the opportunity to premiere this at a real movie theater, and it would go on to be screened at multiple international film festivals. Over the summer, Firewood Media was hired to make 3 music videos for the Milwaukee ska punk band Something to Do. This was a really fun educational experience where I learned what it was like to work with a client. The first video was for the song Am I Still Coming Over, which involved us working with an actual dog trainer. The second video, Draw Me Like One of Your French Girls, allowed me to go crazy with some optical effects and compositing. Finally, the third video, Sweet Caffeination, went right into my comfort zone of horror. Layla Nowak, a frequent collaborator of mine both in front of and behind the camera, did the makeup work, and it turned out incredible. While Firewood Media doesn't really do commercial video work anymore, it was such an important time for us as a quote-unquote company, and it was the first time that we were ever paid to make a video. After that, I graduated high school and I started pursuing a bachelor's degree in communication and film. A fair bit of my workload in college was writing about movies. This is what led me to making reviews and retrospectives here on YouTube, since I had dozens of essays and reviews already written. In October of 2022, I started a series called Halloween Horror Picture Show, which was me reviewing one horror movie a day throughout the month of October. Instead of having me appear on camera, it was entirely voiceover narration with movie clips playing over it. This led to a ton of copyright claims on the channel, but on the bright side, this was the first real boom in viewership that my channel experienced, with my review of Jaws being the most successful video on the channel at that time. While not particularly well produced, these videos laid the groundwork for what this channel would be primarily known for later down the road. During my sophomore year of college, I challenged myself to make one short film a month throughout 2023. My very first film from this period was Doppelganger, which randomly went semi-viral on Japanese Twitter. The project got over 100,000 views in the span of only a few days, becoming my most popular video on YouTube at that point. As 2023 marched forward, this challenge was made easier due to the fact that some of my classes required me to make original short films. That's where movies like The Ghost and the Gunslinger, Bank, The Foxhole, Attack of the Man-Eating Werewolf from Mars, and Do Androids Go to Heaven originated from. It was a time in my life where the creative pursuit and my higher education went hand in hand. In summer of that year, I really got into analog horror, and I created a mini-series called A Town Called Whitewater, which was shot on actual VHS tapes. Being a full-time college student, this allowed me the creative freedom to really experiment with the channel and make commentary videos, movie reviews, and vlogs on top of the monthly short films. Some of my friends even made their own videos and posted it to the channel. Dylan Osvadik, who had previously appeared in several of my movies, made a video essay about the history of distressed jeans. Meanwhile, I even tried my hand at podcasting, where I launched Firewood MediaCast. The entire purpose of this podcast was interviewing independent underground filmmakers, both locally and internationally. It was because of this podcast that I got to meet Billy from Woodstock Roadshow, a filmmaker friend from Australia of all places, who became a good friend of mine and a frequent collaborator on the channel. However, things came crashing down by the end of 2023. My videos were dead on arrival, with them getting around 15 to 40 views on average. I had just released my third feature film, Wayward Sons, which took 3 years to shoot, but the film's entire release was botched due to a ton of external factors. We had a physical Blu-ray release planned and another local premiere at a movie theater, but everything fell apart. I felt defeated. The realization that YouTube was not a valid career was setting in. So I decided to try and revive the channel in January 2024. If I failed, it would be the end of Firewood Media. The plan was to post daily YouTube shorts and weekly long-form videos, and this ultimately did the trick. At the time, I was going through a major phase of hyperfixation on Godzilla, since -1 had just come out and the new Empire was right around the corner. So I made a bunch of YouTube shorts sharing facts about the franchise. These videos were performing really well, and it was revitalizing the channel, but it wasn't until the end of the month when I made a commentary video on a poorly made Godzilla video essay by another creator that brought thousands of new eyes to my work. 2024 started out with me feeling absolutely hopeless and ready to walk away from YouTube forever, but only 31 days in, and our numbers had quadrupled since their peak months prior. Now that I had an audience who was hungry for some content, I started work on my Godzilla retrospective project, where I revisited and reviewed every Godzilla movie and TV show in the entire franchise. Some entries in the series were written as far back as 2019 when I was in high school, and it's a really fun way to share my love of these movies with the world. Meanwhile, I started live streaming and making other non-Godzilla related video essays on series and movies like Neon Genesis Evangelion, Nacho Libre, RoboCop, and Cloverfield. Around this time, I dropped Body Bag, a short horror film that I made with my girlfriend of 8 years, as well as my friend Jesse, who operated the camera. Creatively invigorated by the experience, Jesse and I made another short film, this one titled Restricted Zone, which was easily my most ambitious project to date, with multiple VFX shots involved. This motivated me to get even better at Blender, and on Halloween 2024, I released my fourth feature film, an analog horror anthology titled The Anomalous Archives. It blended my love of kaiju cinema with urban legends that originate from my home state of Wisconsin. One of these segments was released months prior as a short film called DV, which was shot entirely on mini DV tapes over the course of one summer night. We even built a practical suit for the monster using a bear skull mask and a ghillie suit. The film starred Joe and Nick Richards, who were both originally in my high school's drama club, as well as David Savanak, who I've been close friends with since we were 4 years old. Sure, at the time we were a bunch of 20-year-olds, but we felt like a bunch of little kids making a movie with no limitations beyond our own imagination. It was an incredible filming day that I will never ever forget. At the same time, I joined a band called The Ideal. Initially, I was just their rhythm guitarist, but I soon became the lead vocalist and songwriter. We performed live at multiple shows and started working on our debut studio album. It came from college radio. The guys in the band also took an interest in the channel and joined on in various ways. Our bassist, Alex, started editing videos, while our drummer, John, appeared in live streams and podcasts, often serving as my co-host in anything and everything horror. In December of 2024, I finished my senior thesis project, a short film titled The Over-Under, and I graduated from college with a bachelor's degree. It was a great way to end what was a very successful and very hectic year. In 2025, I released my 23rd short film, Canopsia, which was this narrative-driven cosmic horror story about the end of the world. Beyond that, it was business as usual, with more movie retrospectives and YouTube content being posted weekly. In June of that year, I started covering some of the drama surrounding James Gunn's Superman film that was going on with the civil war between the Snyder fans and the DC fans. This resulted in even more eyes on the channel, and I expanded this out to covering every theatrically released Superman movie in its own dedicated retrospective series. Nowadays, everyone involved in video production on Firewood Media is also working their own full-time job, myself included. So it's become an opportunity for all of us to make what we want to make when we want to make it. Our most recent short film, Shadows, was shot while we were filming an even bigger project, our 5th feature film, This Town Does Not Exist, which should be out next year in 2026. It's our most ambitious project yet, utilizing stop-motion animation, CGI, and practical effects. When I look back at this whole wild ride, it's honestly a little surreal. This channel started with a short film made out of sheer passion, and through years of hard work, late nights, a few crashes, and a lot of incredible friendships, it's become this amazing creative space. A place where we can make movies, dissect kaiju cinema, debate DC, and just be ourselves. It was never about views or turning this into a career, but about finding a way to keep that initial spark alive, the one that made us grab a camera and just create. Thank you for being a part of this incredible journey, and know that as long as there are stories to tell, the fire will keep burning.